Here we go. Okay, so we are here today with Dr. Michael Kent Webb, audiologist and owner of ASI Audiology and Hearing Instruments. How are you today, Dr. Webb?
I'm wonderful. We got a beautiful day outside. Spring looks like it's definitely here.
Yeah, it's been really beautiful the last couple days for sure. So I wanted to start off the meeting by telling us a little bit about ASI Audiology, the past. How many years have you been in business? How many locations do you have? Give us a little brief on ASI.
Okay, so ASI was started by my father, Dr. Kent Webb, back in 1978. So he grew the practice, and then I took things over from him in 2011. And since then, we've definitely grown the practice. We are at 32 offices at this point. So if you're in the Midwest, we're in a lot of your areas.
Yes, sounds great. What is new in the hearing aid world? So within the last couple of years, I know there have been a lot of revelations and really awesome things going on in the hearing devices themselves. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the connectivity to smartphones is one of the biggest advancements that they've been able to implement in the last few years, and they just keep building on that technology. So before about a month ago, it was only some of the behind the ear products that had that capability, but they've now released even custom devices that have the streaming capability. So when somebody calls you, or if you're just listening to a book or a podcast on your phone, depending on the exact device, it streams right through the devices. One cool thing is it doesn't require any extra device on a lot of smartphones. There are still some that don't have that capability, but all iPhones at this point and more Android phones are having that streaming capability. So initially it was just in the behind the ear products, but like I said, they've been able to put it in even the custom devices that all go inside of a person's ears, because one style is not best for all people. Rechargeable batteries have been something that have been around for a while, but they've been able to really make some big progress in the last couple of years with those as well. The behind ears were the ones they started off with the rechargeable batteries, but just recently they came out with even custom devices that now have that option, which
That's
is
awesome.
great. A lot of the people that I see, they've got some vision issues, they've got arthritis. Patients are farmer, their big hands don't work as well as they used to, so changing the little battery on a hearing aid is just makes it more challenging, and a reason they may not wear their devices as much as possible. But throwing them on the charger definitely takes care of that. Technology been pretty well tested at this point, so we're having great success, and most of our patients that do get devices are going with the rechargeable ones. Something that's been out for about a year and a half is fall detection sensors in the hearing aids, which again, the patients that we see, that's a big risk that they have. I think it's like over 25% of people over the age of 65
Wow.
have a risk of falling. And if it's by themselves and they fall, definitely is not a good recipe by any means. And so what happens is they essentially, we get everything connected to their, and then they're able to connect it to several contacts. So it would be like their children or a spouse, where if the hearing aids do sense that there's been a fall, it sends in a message out to them to contact their loved one to kind of see what's going on. The person just like stumbles or something, for whatever reason it goes off inadvertently, they have the ability to cancel that as well, as we don't want to be scaring people when it's not necessary. So it's been a pretty cool feature.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah, they're still working on one aspect of the hardware, but there's going to be heart rate monitors in the hearing aids here pretty soon. So they've got a lot of it finished, but they're still working on some of the final pieces. And the fact that a person has a monitor in both ears, it means it'll just be much more accurate than just like a wrist level device like an Apple Watch or some of the Fitbit technologies.
Very cool.
That's still coming up. Um, a reminder feature. I know one of the big issues with kind of compliance for taking certain medications is people simply forgetting. So the hearing aids have reminders in them where, again, every day at the same time, it can tell you to go take your blood pressure medication or whatever, or even remind a person, hey, make sure you're drinking water and standing up and being active.
That's very
One
cool.
actually really cool feature that, again, has been around and they just keep making it better is going to be remote programming capabilities. And with all that's going on right now, it's something that our team at ASI is definitely focusing on. For our patients who have certain hearing aids, we can do their programming all remotely. So if a person has an issue, they just type what their issue is on their hearing or on their phone. It sends us that issue, and then we're able to make an adjustment without the person having to leave their home. At some point, we'd want to see the person, just we don't want to continue doing things. But for a lot of cases, that will be a great thing that we can use now and down the road as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a really awesome thing to be having right now with the world that we live in, being able to remote program something if they don't have the capability of getting out of their house or going to another business. So we are excited about seeing what we can do within the business for that, especially.
Absolutely.
You know, I think a lot of the advances that you're talking about today is result of problems that maybe have existed in the past. For example, talking on the phone, even without or with hearing aids, can be troublesome for some. And so with the streaming, that helps that. Fumbling with batteries, with the rechargeable, that's a great solution for that. And again, with the remote programming and all that, those are really great subjects and advances in the technology level itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, that's kind of how you should look at things. Like, again, what are the problems? Okay, identify the problem, but then, okay, well, let's spend most of our time trying to figure out these solutions. And so just with the rate of innovation, they've been able to make huge changes, and even over the last few years.
Awesome. Okay, so not only for hearing aid world, but maybe for everyone this time of year. I know you are very into a healthy and active lifestyle. What is maybe one or a few recommendations that you think would be a good thing for people to start doing, even if they can start it today, to better their lives in both their health and their hearing?
Well, walking. Walking is one of the most important things people could do. There's a really interesting video on YouTube. It's called The Gift of Walking. It's about a 6-7 minute video, and it just tells you all the health benefits of walking for 30 minutes, 5 days a week. And I've looked a little bit into the research, and you don't even have to walk for a straight 30 minutes. You can break it up in different chunks, but it just reduces your likelihood of having diabetes, depression, heart disease, cancers, just a number of different things. So doing that on a regular basis is very good. We got to keep our muscles strong. Again, hearing loss and falls are related. And if a person's just not being active at all, their muscles are going to deteriorate, makes the likelihood of having a fall more likely. So doing some sort of exercise in addition to the walking would be helpful as well, not only for the blood flow to the brain, but also just to decrease the likelihood that they do have a fall. The next one is not something that we're able to do as well right now because it's being social with people, volunteering, staying active. When we are able to kind of resume our normal lifestyles, it's definitely something that's just great for a person's overall well-being. Isolation can ultimately lead to depression. And when you do become more isolated, your risk of having heart disease, cancer, stroke, all significantly increases. Also, we're social creatures. Again, I'm sure people thought it was maybe cool for a little bit to just be able to stay home from work or not go anyplace. But at this point, I think a lot of people are wanting to get out, but again, it's just not really feasible at this point. So when things do get back to a more normal, see whether it's with your church, with schools, there's lots of groups in the community. Do something. Again, just being around people gets the brain or it has to be used. So that's a really good one. Reading is also great for the brain. So passive entertainment like television doesn't really do a whole lot because your brain's not having to work very much. But when you're reading a book, it just has to be kind of more engaged. So we want to keep the brain healthy and functioning as much as possible. Just in general, eating healthy and limiting alcohol consumption is going to be just overall good for your body. Everything is related. A person that has diabetes is twice as likely to have hearing loss. A person that has some cardiovascular issues, more likely to have hearing loss. So just living a healthy lifestyle is something that's critical for a person's overall well-being as well.
Awesome. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, so the last one, which again is kind of my focus, is getting a baseline hearing test done. Most people don't have it checked. really, unless there's been a medical problem, or sometimes they get screened at work where they're just really wanting to see a change, until there's a big problem. And so getting a baseline test done is something that's just very helpful. That way you can see where things are at. And again, you may not need to do anything or want to do anything, but at least you have that information. So that would be, from an audiologist perspective, something that should be done somewhere around age 50 or so.
Sounds good. And I believe that that is generally free for a hearing test and consultation, especially at any of our locations for sure.
Oh yeah, at all of our locations, that initial hearing assessment is complimentary, where we go into some of your history as far as any medical problems with the ears. Is there any family history of hearing loss, any family history of Alzheimer's or dementia? Just again, that'll give us some information, see if they are noticing some problems. One thing that's helpful, though, is having another person there, because often that other person will start to notice a person's hearing difficulties before they do.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's invisible, it's painless when the hearing starts to deteriorate. Tinnitus, which is some type of sound in the ears, kind of like a warning flag that there is something going wrong. But the vast majority of people think that everybody else is just talking too fast, getting softer, mumbling, when really the issue is that their hearing is just deteriorating. So the hearing assessment allows us to kind of do a full in-depth test on the person to see if their hearing is deteriorated, to what degree it's deteriorated, and if some things should be done in order to prevent things from getting worse.
Perfect. So I just wanted to jump back really quick on the subject of socialization. You know, you said when things get better, we definitely want to reach back out and socialize, but I did want to touch base on that. All of our, or most of our ASI locations are currently still open for one-on-one appointments, and staying socialized in today's world where we are in some sort of an isolation is very important as well. So I just wanted to make a point that I know ASI offices are still open for hearing tests and fittings, and if we are able to keep their hearing aids working at a prime condition, that it is important that they are hearing and communicating well with their family, loved ones, and medical professionals.
Oh, absolutely. That's actually more important now than probably ever. Again, you're doing more communication just on the phone. In person, you have the advantage of being able to see a person, which you can get a lot of the speech sounds or information by being able to see a person's face. But again, doing a video chat where you can get some of that, but often people are, again, talking on the phone. If they do end up going to the doctor for whatever reason, hearing what the doctor actually has to say, what his recommendations are, kind of how things need to be treated, is critical. If that person's not able to hear that information, they're definitely not going to be able to follow his or her recommendations for that treatment. So yeah, we are definitely open in our locations. There's some things that we're doing a little bit different at them. Like if you're not wanting to get out of the car, we will come get the devices from you. If you have a hearing aid from anywhere and you are in our area, give us a call and we can see what we can do. There won't be any charge for us to clean the devices for you. Just it's a critical time that people are able to hear and understand. They can give us our office a call at 800-458-4413, or we're online at asiaudiology.com. So yeah, if you have a hearing aid, regardless if it's from us or not, we will see what we can do to make it work better for you.
Perfect. So you already started talking about some of the different things you are doing to incorporate offers at ASI, including the curbside assistance. I also wanted to touch base on any other offers that you are currently doing. I know you had posted recently and are sharing that you are offering free shipping on supplies that you can order online or the phone, which is really great.
Yep. So there's batteries, there's little filters and things that people need. And again, just to prevent them from having to leave unnecessarily to come get those things, we're offering free shipping on all those items. So if they're, even again, if you're not one of our patients, if there's something that you need for your hearing aids, let us know. We can figure out what we need to do to get you in the quickest manner possible. Again, just kind of touch and base, if your hearing aids do have those remote programming capabilities, and you're having an issue, we can do some of those adjustments without, again, you having to leave your office. Something that we're going to be working on, as well as in our different offices, is like remote programming sessions, where this is a person actually comes into the office and we have the hearing aids connected, because not all hearing aids have the ability to do it just from a person being at home. but say a person's at one of our offices and we don't have a provider there, we want to be able to get that person's issue addressed as soon as possible. So we would get them connected to kind of like a video session like we're doing right now, making sure the hearing aid's been cleaned up, and then make all the adjustments just like we were there in a real person. So that's something else that we're doing. All of our devices for hearing aids have risk-free trial periods with them. So for whatever reason, a person doesn't notice enough benefit or isn't satisfied, we take all that risk off the table, but we're not going to make a recommendation for a person unless we really feel like we're going to be able to dramatically change how well they are able to hear and understand. So all of the hearing aids have the risk-free trial periods where if it doesn't work for you, you get a full return on your investment.
That's really awesome. That means there's no risk. There's no reason for you. It's a free hearing test and consultation, and there's no risk if you are not happy with it. You didn't lose anything, which is awesome. So there's nothing holding anyone back from getting a hearing test or getting some hearing aids and at least trying them out.
Absolutely. Again, we want to make that barrier as low as possible. And in my opinion, that's what we need to do.
Awesome. Okay, so lastly, we are doing a giveaway with each of our interviewers, and ASI is going to be donating a $20 grocery gift card. And so just let us know that you watched the video in the comments below. Post a GIF or an emoji or a comment, and let us know that you watched the video, and you will be entered to win that gift card.
Very good.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Dr. Webb, and have a good rest of your day.
You too, Anna. Have a great one.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.